Hey guys, what's up? Green Machine Sam back with another video, and today we have another Tennessee Titans franchise video. Today we're going to be taking on the Seattle Seahawks in week 16. They are 5-9 heading into this game. We are 9-5. We're number 6 currently in the conference, looking to try to move up to number 1 in our division. We are currently number 3. The Colts hold both tiebreakers over us, so we can't technically beat them out if we have the same record. And then the Jags currently own, I think, their tiebreaker against us as well. So that's 3 of our 5 losses coming within the division. We did beat the Texans last week 40-34 in an epic comeback thriller. If you guys haven't seen that video, you guys should go watch it, of course. You should go watch all the videos, but you should go watch that one more in particular. That one was a very good game, and I very much enjoyed that one. I did lay out how we could get to number 1 in the division and possibly even number 1 in the conference. It would require us to win out from this point on, of course, to even have a chance, and that would get us to 12 wins. But virtually every other team would have to lose out, which I would assume won't be the case, mainly because some of them do play each other. Mainly the Dolphins and Ravens, I think, and the Bills and Ravens maybe even. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't looking at everybody's current schedule. But we do have to win out. The Jags and the Colts would both have to lose 2 games. Of course, the Jags would have to lose their game to us in one other game over the next 2 weeks, and the Colts would have to lose 2 of their next 3, and as we do not play them again. And like I said, they do hold both tiebreakers in terms of both head-to-head games over us. They beat us both times. So let's get into things. First and foremost, breakout running back. This should be Tajay Spears trying to get up to superstar after his almost 300-yard performance. Yeah, 3 touchdowns or 150 yards. If we get towards the end zone and we have a chance, I might try to force feed him just to get him up to that superstar. We do have weekly strategy. I'll take care of that. If any dev traits do end up changing, I will go ahead and let you guys know. We do have a couple upgrades to take care of: Spears, Dillard, Osai, and Duncan. They have all really played pretty well. Spears here, of course, we're just going to elusive back. I don't need him to be that big bruiser. I think there's plenty of big bruisers that you can go out and get, especially in free agency, especially in year 1 of franchise mode, from what I've seen anyway, and what I've experienced. Joseph Osai has played pretty well so far this season. He's been a very good pickup, especially for what we traded to go get him. +1 speed, +1 strength was pretty big from what I saw. And I'm not paying too much attention to a lot of these upgrades. A lot of these guys will be here for a couple years, but they're not going to be mainstays, especially Dillard, Osai, and Duncan. As much as I want Osai to continue to progress, and as long as he plays well, I will give him a chance to start. But with that being said, guys, let me take care of weekly strategy and manage staff, and I will show you guys what I'm offering to some of the players that we do need to re-sign. So for Tierra Tart, I ended up trying to give him a 3-year, $8 million deal, 3 in salary and 5 in bonus. He didn't accept it. He does want to be here, though. I'm more willing to pay him an expensive deal for 2 years and have to re-up after that than anything else. So we are going to try to give him this. He does re-sign, so he will be back for 2 years at $9.5 million. He's been fine for us. I definitely don't think it's all on him. I think linebackers come into play and other things like that. But he has re-signed, and he will be back for another 2 years. Same thing with Aziz. I'm more willing to give him a more expensive deal for short term. I would be willing to almost give him a 1-year deal at very expensive money right now. That's more in my realm right now than anything else. I don't know if he's the long-term solution at middle linebacker currently. So we are going to re-sign him 1 year, $8 million. He has re-signed with the org. He will be back for another year at least. Aaron Brewer, I know this is kind of cheesy. He does want to be here. I would like to bring him back and keep him around for quite some time. I know you used to be able to do this. If you offered them an insane amount of money, they would re-sign with you without giving them a bonus. I'm going to try something a little cheesy here. If he re-signs, cool. If not, I can always try to go get him back in free agency. As of right now, I would like to bring him back, but he does not want to re-sign currently. The problem with Josh Thompson is that he does not want to be here, which will hinder us in trying to re-sign him a lot. But I am willing to give him some money. I'm going to give him 1-2, and I'm going to give him 5 over 7. He is 24. This would take him until he's 31. He will continue to develop. I know he's only 65 overall, but he's played well for us. I want to bring back players that play well. I'm going to try to give him this to start off with, and we can always come back to it later. Yeah, no, he doesn't want to come back right now. If anything, I'll bring him back in free agency. Nobody's going to be going out trying to sign a 25-year-old safety that's a 65. No offense. This is a smart move by me if he does end up taking this. He wants 940 over 1, so I'm going to give him a 5-year deal. He wants to be here, and it's no bonus, so I can cut him if I don't feel like I need him after this year. So I am going to re-sign him currently if he does accept this. He is happy to stay. Marquez Stevenson is back on a very, very cheap team-friendly deal. With that being said, though, we did go over a couple players that I did want to re-sign. We took about 5 players off the board. We ended up re-signing, I think it was 3 of them. We didn't get 2 of them to re-sign, Aaron Brewer and Josh Thompson, of course. Those will probably be about it who I try to go after. I'm going to definitely go after Aaron Brewer some more. I'm going to go after Josh Thompson. They're both guys I would like to keep around for the future, even though they're not the greatest overalls. They are good quality backups at the moment. But let's hop into the game. Here in Nashville at the Nissan Stadium, player showcase. Of course, is going to have Geno Smith, 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 12 picks. So, first drive of the game, Will Levis is going to come out, start off at our own 23. First carry of the game, Ndamukong Suh is apparently on the Seattle Seahawks. So, in this universe, as of right now, they, of course, once I do update the rosters and stuff, they don't have the Leonard Williams, so they went out and got Ndamukong Suh, it looks like. 2nd and 10 here. We're going to go with this trap play. Worked for us a lot last week. Remember, we are trying to go after Tajay Spears' development challenge. I think I definitely need a decreased run blocking again, which is weird to say since it's already so low. I think it's in the 30s, so it's not like I have it in like the 60s and I'm just like dominating as I get stuck on Sailor there. 3 for 15 so far for Spears. We don't necessarily need to go after his run yards either. We can go after the rushing touchdowns if we get close enough, which is always something to look towards. If this linebacker comes, we can throw it to Phillip possibly, or we can just take off and run with it ourselves. We're just going to take off and run with it. Get down. It's still so stupid to me that you have to have a high awareness or just a high overall QB to slide, which is still the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. Like, Madden really was just like, fucking cooking in the kitchen that day, apparently. Overthrown ball there from Will Levis. 2nd and 10 now. Go back to the run game here. Gonna bring DeGuara in motion. Let him try to set this edge for us a little bit. They're gonna rotate the safeties back. D-Hop, good block there. Spears, cut back, makes Jamal Adams, right? Yeah, it's Jamal, you dumb fuck. 1st and 10, dropping back to pass, looking for something underneath. I had Phillips, I just didn't know how hard that linebacker was going to come down, so I didn't want to throw it right away. But 2nd and 18 after a sack from Ndamukong Suh now. This is a play that works really well in my Broncos franchise. I'm going to run it. Play action, dropping back. Josh Wiley is covered one-on-one. Going to throw it up, and he just can't come down with it. There's Tariq Woolen, the very good corner. Him and Devon Witherspoon. Devin Witherspoon. Both very good corners. Jesus, I can really not speak right now. 3rd and 18. Just going to dump it off to Hopkins. Try to get into field goal range. I don't think we're close enough. 47, 57. I don't think Wolf has the leg for this. Yes, the 8-yard line is where they're going to take over. So it's only about a 32-yard punt, but we just couldn't give them the ball at the 47-yard line. That just doesn't make a whole ton of sense. So in reality, it's more like a 40-yard punt. More than anything, I know we were our line of scrimmage was the 40, but if you include the yards that we would have lost if we would have kicked that field goal, I think it just makes it makes more sense to punt the ball away. Unfortunately, we do have to use a timeout in that situation as well. Kenneth Walker down in the flats, and Caleb Farley can't wrap up. Buddy Johnson, though, there for the tackle. He'll have 13 on the first play for the Seahawks. If I remember correctly, the Tennessee Titans ended up winning this game just recently, too. It's only a couple days after Week 16. Caleb Farley, go up and get it! I don't know what he was thinking there. I would understand if it was like DK, but throwing it up one-on-one with a small Tyler Lockett versus a big Caleb Farley who's able to run underneath that ball. We go up and get it. 1st and 10, play action fake. We're going to hit him right away. D-hop. No, the ball's floated, and Woolen's right there, and fuck. I saw D-hop just a second too late, and yeah, well, we're off to a terrible start. The drive stutters because of a sack. We have to punt it. When we're close enough, if we had a actual good field goal kicker, we could kick it. And then we get a pick with Caleb Farley, and then we get hit as we're trying to throw a deep ball to Hop, and it's pick 6. 1st and 10, starting at the 25-yard line. We're going to hand off Spears. We're going to go back to the ground game. It worked last week. It's working here early. 5 for 36, a little over 7 yards a carry there. Yeah, just like I said, it worked last week. It should work this week again. There's no reason to try to force stuff when we don't need to. Phillips here. It is 3-on-3 right now out there if Jamal Adams comes hard. So I'm going to be looking at it. We're going to hit it. And, of course, instead of leaving, Jamal Adams to be the one that has to come down and make the play, we're going to leave Tariq Woolen. Don't understand that logic. 1st and 10 now. I would like to motion Burks, but he's going to bring that middle linebacker back to the middle of the field. So we're just going to have to accept the fact that we have to use one of our tight ends to block a corner. Another 10-yard rush there for Spears, 6 for 47. Probably more like 11 yards there. Like I said, we will have to dumb down the rush sliders again, just for the fact that we've been running the ball with ease, which is weird because these are virtually the same sliders that I have on my Broncos franchise, and I have a much better even run-blocking offensive line on that. And there's a flag, and it's probably a fucking block in the back by D-Hop. Yep. I knew it. Because I saw him in one of the corners go out of bounds, and I'm like, oh, well, 1st and 4. So it must have just been like a, hey, when it happened thing. So we do have 1st down. Only 4 yards to go here. Going to hit the tight end in the flat, Wiley. He picks up 2 at minimum. Mike Jackson Sr. was one of the guys that I really liked. And I never knew why. And he was never very good for the other teams that he played for. And ever since he went to Seattle, he played pretty well. Burks, over the middle catch in front of Quandre Diggs. I didn't know why I was really throwing that ball, but he just looked open. It looked like Diggs just wasn't going to be able to make a play on it. So I ended up going to him. Josh Wiley's currently out due to fatigue, it seems like, so we're going to have to keep Driscoll in. Dump off to Spears. He'll get tackled down after a 3-yard catch and run. 5 for 8, 44 yards, and a pick for Will Levis. We just got to keep those things at the back of the mind. Of course, though, with throwing 4 picks in the last 2 weeks is something to take into account. So he is he has like 10 touchdowns and 7 picks now on the year. It's not particularly great, especially with how little he's played. Not great stats by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll chalk it up to rookie error, even though most of the picks have been my fault, especially as of recently. Tried to get out of there, but Jerron Reed ends up coming up with the sack. Sheds just fast enough on Peter Skoronski. We're going to have to settle for a field goal, which is unfortunate to say the least. Could go for it with 4th and 3, but already being down 7-0, just going to take the points. 1st and 10 here for Seattle. We're going to play this cover 2 man. Second time this offense has been on the field. They did not score with their offense. There's Hunter Henry. Oh, yeah, we talked about this earlier in the season. For some reason, a bunch of teams did a bunch of tight end swaps. One tight end went to the Bengals. One tight end went somewhere else. Irv Smith ended up on the Colts. It's very weird. They decided to swap tight ends amongst 4 or 5 different teams. So Hunter Henry's now on Seattle for some reason. He's so far killing us. 2 for 24. Ended up trying to take DK out of his route, and they're going to find Hunter Henry behind. And there's Monty Rice coming up with the tackle. 4 for 5 for Geno Smith so far. 2nd and 7. Jesus, I apparently cannot read. I mean, it's not surprising, right? It's not surprising that I can't read. And there's Tyler Lockett making a good catch. And see, this is what I really loved for Madden is like individualized personalities. Like Tyler Lockett there, if he catches that, he's probably going to try to make one little juke move and go down to avoid the hit. Instead there, he does take the hit. Gonna try to hold the lineman with Chris Harris. 1 yard rush there for Kenneth Walker. That'll take us to the end of the quarter. Down 7-3 here early. Passing yards, pretty good so far for Seattle. 51, 1 rush yard for them. 62 for us. 35 pass yards for us. Jair's going to be on Hunter Henry. Let's see if the money is worth it. You know, we just paid him, so let's see if the money's worth it. He floats a ball to Smith and Jigba. And Elijah Molden just can't get there. Elijah Molden has played pretty well recently, in recent weeks especially. So I'm not going to be completely, hard on him, but he does need to step up when capable. And just an overthrown ball there. Pressure in his face, 4th and inches. I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised, A, they're not going for it, and B, that they didn't try to run the football. I know they've only ran the ball once, so it's not like a lack of hey, we haven't been able to, penetrate through them. You've only tried to run the ball once. They'll go up 10-3, though. We got to respond. 1st and 10. We're going to go to a pass play. Try to catch them off guard here. I wonder if we move Wiley over, if that would help. Instead of him running a post, he runs a corner. Really get this defense moving. Hit Burks. Throw it towards the blitzer. 2nd and inches now after a catch on that little curl route. Well, on a curl. I'm going to go to this Texas play. I don't love that it's Haskins running the Texas instead of Spears, but we'll have to live with it. We're going to run Wiley on an out. I don't think going up the seam here against Quandre and Jamal is probably the correct move. Burks underneath, though, on the zig. Catch, run, and Hopkins. Good blocker here. I would love to keep Hopkins, but the storyline just makes sense for him to want out of Tennessee, especially if we're not serious contenders going into next season. I would see why he would want out and why that storyline would still be a major factor going into next season. 1st and 10 here. Play action fake. Step up into the pocket. Will Levis now scrambling out to his left. Going to try to hit Spears. He gets open away from Jordan Brooks. Well, what a fucking play from Will Levis and Tajay Spears there. 1st and 10. Going to run Burks on a streak. Going to have Spears come across. And then Phillips on a return route. Now, we are going to bring Burks in. Get him going across the line. He's not going to get set fast enough. I was hoping as soon as he cleared Dillard, I could snap the ball and get everything going. Because it would break down the defense, I feel like, in a good situation. I'm going to run that same play. Hopefully we can just get it set up faster. 1st and 15 now. Not particularly exactly what I want, but motion Burks across. They'll put a edge rusher on Wiley if they run man. If we have D-Hop one-on-one, that could be something. Underneath is Phillips. I'm just going to throw it to him. Only thing I really saw getting open, I couldn't get a good look at Burks and what was happening with his route. But I'm not going to test it. I'm just gonna get it out, get the 4 yards back, basically. DeGuara underneath, he'll catch, no gain there. 3rd and 11 now. Do we take a chance and try to pick all this up, or do we just make it a little easier for Trey Wolf? I think that's a big thing currently. I want to see if Spears on this streak will take somebody out of the play and open up Burks or Wiley. Phillips, and that's on me. What I was mainly looking at there was I thought he was going to break on that harder, and I thought that he would break open in front of the corner. Instead, he gets bumped on the route, and he breaks over top instead of underneath, and so Mike Jackson is just sitting underneath that ball. Jeffrey Simmons, though, with a sack. Coverage good there. Jeffrey Simmons coming alive here in the later part of the season. Okay. 2nd and 17 now after Jeffrey Simmons' sack. Dropping back to pass. Curl routes here, and Caleb Farley just gets, Tyler Lockett set him up perfectly. Once he got his hips flipped, he broke him down and sat on that curl. 3rd and 5. A stop here could come up very big. Checking this underneath stuff. They're going to test Hooker, and he gets it over his head. I slowed him down, hoping he would backpedal and then jump and high point the ball. Instead, it just goes over his head. That's no good. On a 3rd and 5, they go deep to Tyler Lockett. Now put us in a bad situation here. Geno Smith rolling, and he's just going to have to throw the football away. 8 for 11 and a pick, 119 through the air. Yeah, just some plays that just haven't gone our way, And like I said, I'm not going to blame Will Levis. A lot of these balls are on me. I'm not going to blame him one bit. Like I said, the balls are on me. It's a bad read. I throw the ball, and it gets picked. That's my fault, and I'm going to take full responsibility. But we do have to start playing better, or there will have to be a discussion of if we go back to Malik Willis at some point. 3rd and 10 here now. For 2 incomplete passes and a sack and a forced fumble. Geno right there, though, to recover it. 4th and 17. Joseph Osai with a sack now. Jeffrey Simmons and Joseph Osai with back-to-back sacks in games. I think Jeffrey Simmons might actually be at 3 in a row now. 3 games with a sack. Seahawks. Molden gets a good jump, just can't quite get there just enough. Seahawks will go up 13-3, though. Marquez Stevenson up to the 27 as the offense comes back out onto the field. We just can't throw picks. If we're going to end drives, I'd rather end drives with field goals and be down, 13-9 right now than what we currently are. Going to go into this play action. Spears just not getting out there quick enough. He'll still catch, make an edge rusher miss, but Witherspoon right there to make the tackle. 2nd and 4 now, 3:30 remaining. We can definitely still run the football if need be. With Spears being quite tired, I don't know exactly how much I want to run, though. Get DeGuara on that little flat. I don't need everybody going to that left side. Burks here one-on-one. Could be an option. It is. Will he stay in bounds, though? He will. Unfortunately, we did have to go with a possession catch there on the sideline. Not quite thrown as accurately as I would have wanted it to be thrown. But we still pick up big yards. 4 for 92 for Burks. So he's really having a good second half as well. D-Hop right there. Throw on the run. He does get his feet down in bounds at the 12, but he does step out. So he will not end up getting the touchdown there down the sideline. D-Hop here, though. If this corner plays soft, and if Jamal doesn't cover it correctly, could have one-on-one opportunity. Now the corner plays deep. Get it to Burks then. He'll catch. Bobby Wagner on the tackle. 2nd and 3 now. We're going to let the clock go to the 2-minute warning here. 5 for 99 for Burks so far today. Good game. We just got to throw the ball better with Will Levis. I think that's the biggest thing. Not even throw the ball better. I think it's more just me making bad reads. I'm pretty sure all 5 picks have been me making a bad decision at a bad time. It's not even necessarily like him throwing inaccurate balls that happen to go into defenders' arms. It's legitimately me making bad reads, and I'm willing to accept that. 2nd and 3 here. Dropping back to pass. Pressure here. Will Levis is going to scramble, and he's going to be in. So not the guy that we needed a rushing touchdown with, but we still end up getting on the board. And I think getting on the board right now is currently more important than getting somebody their dev trait challenge. As like I said, I would like to get up to that number 1 seed in the division, win our division out, have a home playoff game. Of course, it will be tough. We do have to win all 3 games, and currently we are down with 1:56 left. Jeffrey Simmons has just been playing really well. He does have his X factor now. If we get a stop on this play, if the clock is still running, I'll definitely call timeout. Yeah, we're going to call timeout here. See if we can get the ball back. I think if we can get the ball back here, we'll be in an excellent spot. I'm actually going to drop Josh Thompson into coverage. I don't need you blitzing. Yeah, and that worked out well. Tier Tart there on the tackle for loss. I'm going to end up stopping the clock. 1:06 remaining. I wish we had that 3rd timeout, but we had to use it earlier in the game. Punt return here, opportunity for Marquez Stevenson. Just get as many yards as possible. I'm not, as much as I would love to look for the big play, just get as many yards as possible. Marquez Stevenson with a spin into Seattle territory. We'll be starting at the 46-yard line, heading down towards their end zone. Remember, the best part will be getting out of bounds. But, of course, if we can't get out of bounds, pick up yards and get back to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. They could be sending some pressure here. I think I might just have Spears block immediately, not go with this play action. They don't send as much pressure as I thought they were. I'm going to throw up. That's ridiculous. I saw D-Hop. The safety was kind of trying to cover Phillips and D-Hop. I decided, hey, what the hell? Let's throw up a ball here to D-Hop, see if he can go make a play one-on-one against the safety. And I get hit as I throw it, and then Mike Jackson's just sitting in coverage, and it goes and falls into his lap, and he makes a good return. That's 6 picks in a matter of 2 games for Will Levis. And like I said, these aren't his fault, right? I'm trying to make a play and I get hit. So I don't think that's necessarily on me. Now, yes, I should have been looking for maybe something smaller. But when it's D-Hop one-on-one with a safety and Kenneth Walker's in for a touchdown, when it's one-on-one with D-Hop and a safety, I'm going to take D-Hop every time. So I try to give him a ball and just play not made. Going to run the ball. We're going to give Tajay Spears an opportunity here. Pick up some yards. I was hoping if I would slow down a little bit, Westco could get there and pick up the safety, and then it would be almost a home run hitter. Can't quite get there. 2nd and 4 now. If we can get out of bounds, we would have a chance at a Hail Mary if I really wanted one. If we could pick up this first, get out of bounds, have about a second left at minimum, we could definitely have a chance at a Hail Mary. Spears gets out of bounds, picks up the first. If we hit a quick out, could have a chance then. Yeah, let's go double outs here. Keep Wesco in. Keep Wiley in. If nothing's open, don't really have a choice of doing anything else. Hopkins gets out of bounds. They will say he was getting forward progression, so it will at least give us the opportunity to try a Hail Mary if we want one. Could end pretty badly, all things considered. I don't know if he has the arm strength for this. I'm going to send Spears up on a street, get the linebacker out of the way. Double team the right side. I'm going to try to roll right and get this ball out. Yeah, I try rolling right and the offensive line just doesn't set up correctly and I get hit as I'm trying to. There was no way I was going to be able to set my feet and throw. Unfortunately, going in half down 10, 2010. That really sucks. 3 picks really killed us again. 1st and 10 as the Seattle Seahawks are going to be looking to start their first drive of the second half. Going to hand off here, Kenneth Walker. To your Tart back in. I told him to stay out, but apparently he wants to play. Would like to keep him healthy for the playoffs. I would assume we have a really good chance of making the playoffs, but we still have to win at least probably 1 or 2 games to confirm that. Joseph Asai here with a tackle. Kenneth Walker, just no real room to run. He had an open lane, had to bounce it back in, and Asai's there to clean him up. I don't love Rice being on a fucking wide receiver right now. Play coverage underneath. DK gets tackled down. 4th and 1. Monty Rice right there. Like I said, has played well. Been one of the real great, bright spots of this team. One thing I do want to mention, though, if I do restart the franchise, as in terms of we sim season 1 basically back to where we are, guys like Blake Cashman, who did end up producing in real life and have become pretty good overalls in their own respective right, are not going to get traded back for. I'll probably just let him be as is on whatever team on the Texans. I'm not going to go back and get him if he's already on the team and he's doing well, better than what he's doing in, my franchise, especially. 10 for 72 here for Spears. 2nd and 1 now. Going to go picked the wrong play, so we're off to a great start so far. Going to bring DeGuara over, get him to help out. 2nd and 1. They're going to motion the linebacker over a little bit. Get to the edge. One-on-one with the safety. The safety ends up winning that rep. Andre Dillard now down. Jalen Duncan will have to come in. Unfortunately, we do lose our starting left tackle. Jalen Duncan, though, in limited time, I feel like has played okay. I'm not going to say great by any stretch of the imagination. I try moving to my left. I guess it counts it on the run and bad ball there. And go halfback AU3 choice here. Going to move Wiley out more. Get him away from this curl route if Spears decides to run that curl or even that out. Traylon I was looking at, but he got taken away pretty fast. Will Levis, though, down the sideline. Look at the wheels on the white boy. 3 for 46 for Will Levis, 1 touchdown. Yeah, we're going to keep Duncan in. Unless he starts just eating ass, I'm not going to bring Dillard in, risk injury. Underneath is Spears. He won't hold on to the football. I saw the D-tackle about to shed there underneath on that right guard. Decided to get rid of it. Can't be held on to. We're going to go drive wheel. This has worked well in the past. Phillips is matched up with a corner in Mike Jackson. So we won't be able to exploit that speed against the linebacker this time. D-Hop one-on-one, though. Go up and make a play. And Witherspoon comes up and makes the play before Hopkins can even have a chance. Good play by him. You know, I give Hopkins a chance there. And unfortunately, the corner just makes a better play. And sometimes that happens. I'm not going to be, you know, super disappointed. There might have been something else open, of course, but you got to take your chances when able. 1st and 10 at their own 25. They elected not to take it out. I'm going to show blitz here. We're going to bring guys down. We're going to force them to make a play here. It's just overthrown by Gino on the run, and Kevin Byard just kind of waiting there. And that's something I don't particularly like. Like, Kevin Byard's in a bad spot. The ball's in a bad spot, but for some reason it floats directly to the defender. I don't love that when that type of stuff happens. Dillard's back in for some reason. That's nice. When I tell you to stay out, I mean it. Whatever, if he's back, then he should be virtually fully healed. So if he gets injured again, I'm going to be pissed. But if he thinks he's ready to go, he's ready to go. This could be man with a double A gap. Just based off of how they lined up, yeah. Wiley underneath, breaks 1 tackle. Jamal Adams is a bitch. Makes up a 1st down. 306 total yards for us today. Not bad. Just got to limit the turnovers. Got to limit the mistakes. And 2 of the 3 are at least mine. I'm willing to admit that. 2 of the 3 are at least mine. Play action fake. Burks coming open. Gonna loft this ball. Burks breaks 1. Jamal Adams takes him down, though, here at the 2. We're going to hurry up back to the line. They shouldn't have the personnel to be able to stack this box real well. Going to bring Burks in motion. Get him on this linebacker / safety here. And the gap just opened up so well. I don't know who the hell shed so fast on that inside, but he shed so fast, and Saylor just rides him out of there, and which is something you're told to do as an offensive lineman. You know, if he wants to get upfield, or if he wants to go somewhere where he's not supposed to be, let him go. Like, just block him that way. Especially if it's going to help out, you know, creating a hole for your running back. 1st and 10, they're going to hand off Kenneth Walker. Might be a penalty on them. They do get a 1st down if the play stands, but it is a holding call. We will take them back. It will be 1st and 20 now at their own 15. So starting off not in a great position already for them. Going to spread this defensive line. I think it's going to be a pass play. Let the defensive line go try to eat. Underneath here to DK, and Shair comes up with the hit. 2nd and 10 now. 12 for 17. 2 receptions, 12 yards for DK. So I don't know if that's possibly the issue of why he doesn't have a whole ton of yards coming into today's game. 2nd and 10 now. They're going to hand off Kenneth Walker. Jeffrey Simmons coming back to the play to make the tackle. 7 for 16. Not particularly great when your 2 best players, arguably, are not performing up to standards. Kenneth Walker, with that being Kenneth Walker and DK Metcalf, of course. This tight end is open, but he just wasn't looking downfield as he was trying to scramble. Jeffrey Simmons comes up with another tackle. I don't know if that was quite considered a sack. I would assume not, because I would assume he did pick up at least a couple of yards. 14 for 85 and a touchdown for Spears so far today. Gonna bring Wiley in motion, get him up on this backer right away. Don't need you out on Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen will make a play. Either way, he does have enough speed to where if he needs to track down Spears, he can. Witherspoon makes a good shed and blows up that play. If we could have had that block just a little bit better, I think he could have been up the sideline for a big gain. 2nd and 6. Witherspoon has a couple tackles on the day. Yeah, rush yards for Seattle, 17 compared to our 100. Going to go with this trap play again. And Ndamukong Suh so far today has been a very big disruptor. 2 tackles for him on the day. He does have a sack, and he has forced some decent pressure. 3rd and 7 here. Checking to Wiley underneath. Just pick up the first. That's a first down. 1st and 10 now at the 37. Slowly moving the football. I got to look underneath more. I think that's a big problem with mine, is that I get hooked on these big plays, and I don't want to let them go. D-Hop one-on-one. Ball's thrown, not great, and it's going to go out of bounds. 2nd and 10. I saw him break and get separation from Witherspoon, so I'm like, oh, easy throw. Just put it up on the sideline. That's not the case. I'm going to keep Spears in. I'm going to motion him over to the right. We're going to send the line back the other way to the left. 2nd and 10 now. This ball's a little late and just out of bounds, out of reach for Burks. Him and Tariq Woolen are getting into it. 3rd down and 10. We do have momentum in our favor currently. Burks and Hopkins one-on-one here could both be options. Phillips underneath, and just the ball not delivered quite accurately enough. That's 3 straight balls, in my opinion, that just were not delivered accurately. Now, the second throw, I'm willing to admit, could have been picked if delivered even semi-accurately. 1st and 10, the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 24. Gonna cover up Jackson Smith with Shair. Runs a little choice route. Caleb Farley, go up and get it. This time, we get the pick on the deep ball. That's not quite what I was trying to do with the return there. But we do end up getting the ball 1st and 10 at the 32. They basically just gave it right back. 1st and 10 here. Burks. Just a bad ball. Ball's not going our way. I know in Madden, when you don't have great accuracy, if you try to lead the ball at all, they normally are inaccurate passes, but it's still annoying when you're trying to get the receiver away from the defender. And Saylor just doesn't block the linebackers. 3rd and 13 going into the 4th. Wiley on a quick hitter. Gets it right over Bobby Wagner's head. And 1st down and 10 there. PA scissors. Wiley could be open on this. It doesn't look like man, so I'm not going to be looking directly for it. But for some reason it is. And there's a sack from Ndamukong Suh. He has wrecked today's game. He continues to. And in rage, I accidentally picked a play, so now we're going to have to change something up and pick one of the preset audibles. 3 seconds, so we got to get going. And just pressure all around me. I don't have time. It feels like I don't have time. I don't know, does it feel like I have time, YouTube comments? It just doesn't feel like I do. I could possibly have time. Maybe I'm just looking for too much stuff downfield. Wiley underneath, can't hold on the football. 4th and 21, we got to settle for a field goal. 19 for 34 and 3 picks. Just not going his way again today. I completely forgot to record the first play of this drive, so it's 2nd and 10 now after an incomplete pass thrown low to Tyler Lockett. I got to let this defensive line go eat. I would assume Seahawks are going to be a little bit more aggressive. They have proven that they don't like running the football. So I would assume they're going to go to a lot of this pass game, especially here late down. So I'm going to try to let this defensive line go eat a little bit more than what they're used to. Going to bring Byard down, let him drop a little harder. Harold Landry beats with speed. Can't quite get to Geno, but Caleb Farley goes up, makes a fucking play. This is why Caleb Farley has continuously developed so well. He is 6'3" with speed. Even though his coverage isn't great, he's still able to get back into plays and make big time changes. 1st and 10, going to hand off Spears. Halfback stretch. Jamal Adams, you're not fast enough for me, pussy. Going to bring Wiley back across the middle. Need somebody going back that way. D-Hop over the middle. Get him the ball. He hasn't seen a lot of action these last 3 or 4 weeks. 4 for 49, though. I don't remember getting the ball him that much. I thought maybe he had like one other catch. Apparently, I just don't have good memory. 1st and 10 here. Halfback zone. Not blocked up particularly great. 19 for 90. He's about 60 yards away or 2 touchdowns from getting his dev trait increase. I don't really love anything here. We're going to go with the stick option. D-Hop, if he runs this out route, could have good separation. No, he runs a slant. Beats Mike Jackson and in for the touchdown. You know, like I said at the beginning of the game, I would like to get Spears' dev trait, but it's not the most important thing. We're going to go up 30-20 here late in the 4th. 1st and 10, starting at their own 20-yard line after a not great kick return. Going to hand off Kenneth Murray. Don't know why they're trying to run the ball late now here. Doesn't make much sense. I know you've thrown 3 picks now, all going to Caleb. No. 4 total picks for Geno Smith today. 3 going to Caleb Farley. 3 going to... Why does everything seem messed up? Is it just... Was it just showing it incorrectly? I don't know. It looked like it was just showing it incorrectly because Caleb Farley still ended up on the right side of the field. 1st and 10 after a quick hitter. Like I was saying, I know you've thrown 4 interceptions, but running the ball here late after you haven't had success, after you haven't run the ball all day, it just doesn't make sense here late in the game. Granted, they haven't thrown the ball as well as I thought they have. Only 170 yards on the day for them. I know that pick 6 from us gave them a good chunk. Good chunk of their points. 7 points there just off of 1 pick 6. So their offense hasn't been particularly great. Both of these teams really just trading back and forth with turnovers. Gonna hop on Buddy Johnson. He has a little bit more speed for me. Gonna let Shire just play by himself. 2nd and 8 now after a 2-yard rush here from Kenneth Walker. Yeah, 183 yards so far today. Just not quite, what you would be expecting from this offense. I feel like they've played a lot better, but I guess it could just be starting field position with the turnovers that we've given them for the most part. 2nd and 8. Good curl route there from, would expect to be Tyler Lockett. Harold Landry going down now. He's going to head to the locker room. The next edge up, I think, would be Alton Robinson. And Hunter Henry just makes a good play, and Shire just doesn't have the athleticism to get there. Hunter Henry in for the score. Dislocated shoulder, will be out for the remainder of the game. Will probably be out about 4 or 5 weeks, so we will probably lose him to injured reserve. On this final drive, I'm purposely dropping down to the 12-yard line. I know it'll be hard to go down and score, but this could give Tajay Spears the good opportunity to go get his yards and get his dev trait. We can milk the clock as well as we can try to get Tajay Spears' dev trait, so it's not exactly like I'm, just doing it for no reason. There's multiple reasons. 107, he only needs 43 more yards, and we got at minimum of 70 yards that we could rush for. So, good opportunity here. It really is. There's no better time to try to get this done right now. Like I said, trying to go for the dev trait, trying to milk this clock away and get us the win as well. Tajay Spears back to the outside. We're going to let Wesco catch up. He breaks 1 tackle. Bobby Wagner finally catches up. We only need 21 more yards, and we will have the dev trait. Going to go back to him. We're going to continue to run him. Okay, he is tired. I don't know how much I want to run him then. If we get an open lane, we might... Tajay Spears, if he has a little bit of speed. No, Woolen's just too fast. That 96 or 95 speed there from Woolen will chase him down. But 22 for 162. His day is virtually done. We'll probably run out the rest of the clock with Hassan Haskins. I would expect timeouts to be coming here sooner rather than later. I'd like to run with Hassan Haskins here since I know he's not tired. They're going to put Spears back in. That's not exactly what I wanted. I know the 2-minute warning just went off, so he does have a little bit more stamina. I'm going to go with this Wildcat look, not get Will Levis involved here. 2nd and 4, we're going to go with a counter play. Hassan Haskins down inside, picks up 3. Timeout here. And go with this wham play. This opens up. I would like to go down. That's the main thing. If we pick up the first, go down, don't score. And Spears goes down. We will end up winning this game. We can milk the rest of the clock away. We end up winning 30-27 against the Seattle Seahawks. That is game, folks. What a game. What a game, and I will say we got to work on turnovers. That's the main thing going forward at this point. Is just going to be turnovers. We can't keep having the same things happen over and over. And unfortunately, with my play calling shit, I can't fucking call. I wasn't going to be surprised with my play calling limits and stuff and my play call cooldown if I couldn't, run a QB kneel 2 times in a row. I would have laughed. One more kneel down will do the trick here for us in Nashville. Like I said, winning 30-27. Turnovers were a big factor for both teams. Geno just continuously trying to pick on Caleb Farley, and Caleb Farley having none of it. And it's not like you were throwing to a receiver that can match Caleb Farley with his speed and height. You were throwing to Tyler Lockett. You were throwing jump balls to Tyler Lockett. So that will do it. Clock should run out from here on out. Like I said, that should do it. So 18 seconds, 17 seconds. And Hassan Haskins doesn't even line up in the correct spot. So even if I wanted to snap the ball, we can't. So fortunately, that will do it for this game. We'll check out stats after the game ends, and then we will head back to the main menu and discuss a few things and see what's ahead of us for next week. Like I said, bad game again from Will Levis, and it's not on him. 2 of the picks were definitely my fault. One of the picks could be negotiated either way, or just, even on the O-line for that matter. Tyjae Spears, 24 for 171. Will Levis, 6 for 43. Hassan Haskins, 1 for 4. I would like to get Hassan Haskins a little bit more involved. Treylon Burks, 6 for 126. D-Hop, 5 for 69. Josh Wiley, 4 for 38. Spears, 3 for 35. Phillips, 2 for 11. And DeGuara, 1 for 1. Skoronski was getting blown up by Sue, apparently. Dillard, not a great game either. Jeffrey Simmons, 2 sacks on the day. Asai with 1 as well. Who left early? Harold Landry left early, so we will have to look at that. Caleb Farley with 3 picks. Kevin Byard with 1 as well. And then kicking was fine as well. Good game. I'm going to get screenshots, and then I'll meet you guys back at the main menu. Okay, back at the main menu. Breakout player. Of course, it is Tyjae Spears. And of course, he delivered. Superstar Tyjae Spears. 2,000 XP boost for the running back as well. So, the Houston Texans ended up losing to the Cleveland Browns. So, they are at 3-12. This should be a relatively easy game. I know it was kind of a thriller last time. Hopefully, with a game under our belt, we should be able to go in there and beat them a little bit easier. The Colts and the Jaguars still hold a 1-game lead, so we will need the Colts and Jaguars to lose this next game if we want any type of a shot going into Week 18. If for some reason they both end up winning both their games and they're both at 12 wins, we could see the possibility of benching our starters going into Week 18 and letting some of our backups play. Now, of course, that would affect playoff pictures as well in terms of even possibly dropping down to the 7 seed. But currently at the moment, the Bengals are 9-6. If we end up winning this game and the Bengals end up, so we'll be at 11, they'll be at 10. If the Bengals lose their game, we win ours, but if the Jaguars and the Colts both win their games, then we could possibly, like I said, sit our starters. Mainly if it's us, if we win and if the Bengals lose, then we could possibly sit our starters in Week 18, especially if the Colts or the Jags both win. One or the other even win. because whoever wins would then have 12 wins, and we would automatically not be able to catch them in. So if the Colts win, there could be a possibility that we do set our starters going into Week 18. I got myself confused. No matter what, we will have a chance to take over the Jags. Even if they win this week, they'll be at 12. We'll be at 11. We would have a chance to jump them at least. If the Colts win this game, though, then yes, we would not have a chance to jump them. They do have the tiebreakers, like I said. So we have weekly strategy next week. For the next week, some upgrade players. One should be Tajay Spears at minimum. And then there is Caleb Farley. 3 tackles, 3 picks for him on the last week. But like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please stick around and subscribe. If we do negotiate with any other players also in the coming weeks, I will show you guys those. If not, if I don't show you guys them, it means I was just unsuccessful the next 2 weeks trying to bring some of those guys back that I did want to bring. Mainly Josh Thompson and Aaron Brewer. But with that being said, guys, like I said, if you guys enjoy this content and the content here on my channel, I'd appreciate it if you guys stick around and subscribe. There should be, if this does come out early enough, another 2K22 video coming out. Possibly. And then hopefully a 2K24 and a Madden 24 roster updates coming out within the next next month or so. Hopefully. We're almost at the end of this season. I don't know what I'm going to do, if we're going to reset the franchise or not, because I don't want the draft class, because I made this franchise all the way back when draft class glitches were a thing. So we could have the possibility of restarting the franchise, just simming through year 1, getting records and simming all the way to into free agency and stuff, and then starting over from there, of course. With that being said, guys, like I said, if you guys enjoy this video, please stick around and subscribe. I'll be having more videos like this coming out. Hopefully I can get my recording schedule set a little bit better. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.